Been feeling trapped down on the floor. I don't know what for. Feels like I'm gonna lose. Silence takes a hold. I can't let it go. Chain up, no one knows. But I won't let the stormy seas.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking. If you haven't already subscribed, just hit the subscribe button down below and come join one of the newest families on YouTube. So my channel is basically about travel, food, and culture. And since I've not been able to do the trips that I had planned for the rest of this year, well, for now, for this part of the year, I am going to be sharing with you how I plan for my trips. So I've gotten quite a few requests in my inbox, people messaging me, asking me how I afford to do this or how I go about planning for my trips. So that's what I'm going to talk about. So if you're interested in this kind of video, just let me know, all right, in the comment section down below. So when I'm planning my trips, the first thing I do is to select my destination. So when I was in Japan, when I was living in Japan, I basically looked at Asian countries that I would want to go, right? Because of proximity, they were closer, it would be cheaper to get there, so that's what I did. Now that I'm in the Middle East, I look mostly at Middle Eastern countries and African countries. Now, after I have selected the countries that I want to visit, the next thing that I do is to look at my school calendar. Now, I know some people have the option of having a month or 6 weeks off, and then they can choose when they want to take those vacation days. I don't. I'm a teacher, so my vacation days are basically set in stone, right? So at the ending of the previous school year, you will actually get a school calendar, or the school calendar for the following year. So what I do is to look at the dates that I'll be off, and I make a spreadsheet with those particular dates. So after doing that, after making that spreadsheet, I have the dates that I have off, and I also have the countries that I want to visit, and I will go online and do a search on flight costs, right? So I will do a search for, say I'm going to be off in December and I want to go to Ghana, right? So I will do a search for Ghana in December, in Easter, and all the other breaks that I have. I'll do that for all the countries that I want to visit, and then I'll compare the prices. So I'll see when it's cheapest to go to a particular country. And this works for me unless I specifically want to go to a particular country to go to a festival that it's only held at a particular time that I know definitely I have to go there then. But if I just want to go to the country, festivals and activities aside, right, then I will basically choose where I go based on the cost that it is to go there at a particular time. And I'll do a sample showing you what it is that I'm talking about if you're still not getting what I'm saying verbally. All right, so this is what the spreadsheet looks like. So here you see where I have the countries that I chose to visit, and these are the months that I have vacation. I didn't put the dates there, but those are the months that I definitely have vacation. So I'd go online and see the prices for the different times, and then I would see which month has the cheapest price for a particular country, and that's when I would go there. All right, so this year, if everything had gone as planned for Ghana and Ethiopia, I definitely went in December. I went to Thailand in October, and I went to Egypt in February. I would have gone to Nigeria in April, and then I would have gone to Turkey in May if this virus hadn't reared its ugly head. So this is how I basically choose my countries. Again, as I said, unless there is something happening that I really want to attend. For example, I definitely wanted to go to Afrochella in December. So even if the prices were higher then, I still would have chosen to go to Ghana then. Now, a lot of these search platforms, they actually allow you to to set your dates and to give you like not reminders, to give you promos. So they'll basically alert you. Can set up an alert and they'll tell you if the flight has gone up. Sometimes it's weekly, sometimes it's bi-weekly. They'll tell you if the flight has gone up, if it has gone down, and they'll also tell you when's the best time for you to book your flight. Now I use the two sites that I stick to, and I don't know if this applies to everyone, but based on the part of the world that I'm in, I tend to use Momondo and Skyscanner. So this is Skyscanner. So you basically put in where you're going and the dates that you're traveling, and then you press search. It will give you all the options on different airlines. It'll give you the best option, the cheapest, and also the one that's going to get you there the fastest. So you're able to compare. And you can choose whether you want the cheapest option or the fastest or the best. I always go with the cheapest option once I have the time. Okay, and here you have the option to like these flights. We'll let you know when prices go up or down. So you click on track prices. You create alert for flights. All right. You can sign in with either Google, Facebook, or email. All right, so you choose whatever account that you want to, and then they'll send you alerts. All right, and they have worked best for me. They have always given me the cheapest options, especially Skyscanner. All right, Momondo was more effective, I think, while I was in Japan, but since I've been to the Middle East, Skyscanner has definitely been it for me. After sorting out my flights, the next thing that I do is actually to look at activities. So I'll go on TripAdvisor, I'll probably go on YouTube and type in top 10 things to do in a particular country or a particular city. Now, if you've watched my vlogs, you know that I am really into culture. I am really into animals as well and food. So basically the activities that I look for are surrounded around that. Sometimes you go to a particular country and they'll have like a world wonder, or they will have UNESCO sites and stuff like that. So, you might probably want to go see those because that's what most people want to see. But I like doing out of the box things. I like going into villages and just being with the local people and stuff like that. So that's always something that I also consider. In addition to that, whenever I go anywhere, I believe that if you can afford to travel, you can afford to help someone. So whenever I go anywhere, I try to do some sort of charity activity or something like that, do some sort of mission initiative. So I always try to find whether an orphanage or a children's home or anything like that that I can sort of offer some assistance in one way or the other. So that's the next thing that I do. All right, so now that I've selected my country, the country that I'm going to be going and the time that I'm going to be going there, then I go on and I look at the weather. Yes, I go on and I look at the weather, what the weather is going to be like during the particular time, and I then select my outfits. Yes, because nobody wants to go on a vacation and not slay, so you want to look good. So I definitely go on, I see what the weather is going to be like, all of that good stuff, and I plan my outfits. I don't like overpacking, so for me, after choosing my activities and all that stuff, then I decide what I'm going to wear on each activity. What I want my pictures to look like. I think about all of that, yes. I decide what I want my pictures to look like and what outfits I'm going to wear on a particular day and what outfits I'm going to wear when I'm going to a particular place. So I have my outfits packed for the days so I don't overpack. Now, after I have found the activities that I want to do and I have divided up my days, how I'm going to spend my days, then I go and I look for accommodation. My go-to site for accommodation is booking.com, and I'll tell you why. Free cancellation is one, so you can choose to book something now, even if you're not sure of your dates or anything like that. You can still book, and then you have you have up to a week before you travel, or sometimes days before you are actually supposed to get there, to cancel without any sort of penalty. No, this is good because anything can happen and you have to cancel, number one. Secondly, sometimes hotels will lower their prices. And if you're already booked into a particular price, sometimes it's hard for you to get a second booking, right, at the lower price. But if you book through them, you can always cancel for free and then rebook at the lower price, right? So that's a site that I use. It has worked well for me. Yeah, and I guess I had no reason to stop using that. So that's the next thing that I do. All right, so the next thing that I do, and this might be a bit strange, but as I said, I like to be with the locals whenever I go to a particular country. So I usually try to find someone local, right? So if I'm in a particular group, like whether a church group or any group that I'm in, I'll just like post something and say, if there is anyone in here who lives in such and such a country. I did that for Kenya, I did that for India, and a few other places that I've been to. I know it's risky. I know my mom worries about me every single day and my friends as well, but it's just something that I do, right? And someone might respond and I'll start a conversation with that person. I'll definitely meet up with that person. Chances are when I'm in the country, if I'm in the city that the person is in, they'll probably be my guide, you know? And yeah, that's basically how I usually move around a country. Now, there's some places where I usually travel solo. And if I'm not traveling solo, it's just normally with one other person, but usually I travel solo. And there's some countries where it might not be safe for you to go alone, especially as a female. And in those particular countries, I will use a guide, a tour guide, or I'll go through a tour company. No, I did this for South Africa, but I don't just choose random people. Be a part of these travel groups. There's so many travel groups on Facebook and other platforms. I'm a part of Nomadness Travel Tribe and Black Travel Movement, BTM. And trust me, it's a wealth of resources. You can't go wrong with these groups. And I got my tour guide for Johannesburg from Nomadness and also BTM. Both groups definitely use this guy. I'll put his number running across the screen. And then he introduced me to the tour guide that I use in Cape Town, and he was amazing as well. I'll also have his info running across the screen for those of you who are considering going to South Africa. For Egypt, I also use a tour guide because Egypt also is one of those places where there can be a bit of civil unrest at times. And because it's such a big country, right? And you want to get in as much as you possibly can. So I used a tour guide for that. Now, a quick Google search. I never book anything on TripAdvisor or I've used Viator times, but those sites I think are very expensive. What I normally do is this. I just go do a quick Google search and I just type in, for instance, for Egypt, I just typed in Egypt tours and then a whole bunch of things came up and I would just go on one and scroll through all that I see there, and then I'd pick an itinerary that fits with mine. You can easily put in the dates that you're going to be there and all that good stuff, and then they'll tell you. You can even put in the budget that you want to work with, and then they'll come up with different options for you to choose from. We went with Egypt Travel Tours, Best Egypt Travel Tours, and they were amazing. Everything was on point, except for one of the train rides, but I mean, that wasn't their fault. That really wasn't their fault. I also used a tour guide for Ethiopia, and I'm very happy that I did because English isn't well spoken in Ethiopia, isn't widely spoken in Ethiopia, and we were very fortunate to have a guide with us. Sorry, Ethiopia is so huge that I wouldn't even have known where to start. You know, I would not have known where to start. Just getting from point A to point B would have been a hassle. Now, each country will have, like, preparation for each country is different, but these are just general guidelines. All right. So again, my thing is this: number one, know the dates that you can travel, then select your flights, do a search for your flights, compare prices, all that good stuff, and then allocate country to the best price, basically, if you have that option. Then choose your activities, decide when you want to do your activities, and break up your trip based on that. After you have done that, because you're probably going to be in different cities, you don't want to book one hotel in one city or an Airbnb in one city for the entire trip, and you're going to be moving about. That just doesn't make any sense. So I usually book my choose my activities first before I consider looking for a hotel or an Airbnb, looking for accommodation. So after I have chosen my activities, then I choose my my accommodation, right? After I've done that, then I try to find someone local to hang with while I am there. Yeah, guys, so that's how I plan for my trip. So if you want something specific, like how I plan for a specific trip, maybe for Egypt or Ethiopia, Ghana, Kenya, India, Thailand, South Africa, whatever the countries that I've been to, that you would like me to do a breakdown of how I plan for that particular country, then just leave a comment in the comment section below, and I will definitely get that done for you.